Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Druids of Edora.
This is a new Stefan Feld game that just released. I feel like it kind of shadow dropped because we didn't know a lot about it. I heard the word, the bird is the word, but I heard the name of the game here and there. And then suddenly it was on the hotness for BGG and I checked out why. It was because it just suddenly released. And I ordered it from England, we got it, we played it a few times. And now we're going to talk about it. I don't know why I have the desire to explain the concept of a review. But that's what we do. We play the games, we talk about them on the channel.
Yeah.
If you like talking about games or hearing about people talking about games, you can.
Subscribe.
Because it's
fun.
Yes! Now, let's talk about this game. As always, here is a brief overview of the game. Druids of Edora is a dice placement action selection game. On my turn, I will be moving my druid from these different places. Yes, clearings. Theme is not big in this game and also not in this house. So you'll be moving from clearing to clearing. You have to pay depending on where you move. So every step is a move. And if you move over one of these dark, horrible forests, then you will have to pay more. And where you end somewhere, let's say I end up going here, I will choose one of my dice, which I will place there. I will then have to pay as many provisions as the cost of the die, or the pips of the die, and I will be able to do the action. If other dice are already there, they of course block the actions, but also if I place the highest dice, let's say I moved over here, and I place this, I will score some points. But also if purple moves in here and plays this, red will score points. So the highest die that's there, if there's more than one, will score some points. There's a lot of different actions you can do. You can brew potions that give you special, great, powerful one-time abilities. You can build these stones that will give you abilities or instant income. You will build these obelisks. I don't know the name of all of them because they're just these things. And you will score these different things, I almost said. You will build these things to score these things. If you didn't know, English is not our first language, so sometimes the words disappear. And you will also move on this track to be able to unlock these herbs. Every time you unlock a herb, you will choose one of them to actually unlock the ability and one that you will not unlock. You will be moving on this track, you will be getting these actions, everything to score points. There's endgame scoring goals, there's all of these different things to do, but most of what you're doing is moving and placing these to activate the action. If you activate a die on clearings, all the clearings adjacent to one of these fire pits, you will get all of the bonuses around there. If you make a route from one of these two of the same colors, you will score the points for that. This is Stefan Feld game, so it is a point salad. There's a lot of ways to get points, but you will always also try to have enough provisions and enough dice to be able to do what you need to do.
This is a good-looking Alea game, I have to say. Especially the box doesn't look like an Alea game at all, I think. And I think the game, like the dice on the map really pops. And it's basically really good components. I love the feel of the dice. Yeah. They don't feel like regular dice. It's just like
special dice. Made of special materials.
Yeah, so it looks good.
I would say that, like this, they have a good feel to them. Like if you like, I like a heavy dice. If you like, sometimes pick up a die like, oh, it doesn't weigh anything. These ones are really great. And this looks like the rewood kind of thing. I don't know if it is, but it kind of looks
something
like
in that,
or
and
plastic.
Also, I think these are some in the same material almost.
But they look and feel good. The English translation of the rulebook is not the best. There is a lot of questions online. I have done my best to like decipher all the FAQs, all of the things that people have deciphered together to be able to play it the correct way. There is a couple of places where I had to go to the German rulebook and then basically use Google Translate on my phone, and it was a better translation than the English rulebook, which is kind of weird. You should be able to make that better, but it's not like, just so you know, if you get this game and you read the English rulebook, do know that there might be things you need to check out.
The main mechanism of this game is the dice movement and the dice placement. The interesting thing in this game is that you're not mitigating any of your dice. So the dice you roll at the beginning of your round, like the game, is the dice that are like the values that are going to be on them. That means also when you will get a new die or multiple from the supply, they're already pre-rolled, so you can choose if you want a high or a low, and both high and low are potentially good in this game. But I really like the mechanism that I have to basically plan my route, I feel like.
Yeah.
So this is also a game that turns can be pretty snappy because usually you have a clear vision of what you're trying to do, unless you on your turn do the thing that I was wanting to do.
Yeah.
Then I need to kind of pivot and see if I can do, for example, another action on that space, or if I need to reroute my entire plan, basically.
This is one of those games, and I don't. It's not similar to this game at all, but it gives me the same kind of feeling in a very lighter way in this one than in Le Havre. Because in Le Havre, you're trying to get out of the loop where everything you do is get food to be able to feed your people. And here is the same. I'm trying to get out of the loop that the only actions I do is to get provisions and get more dice, so I can place more dice to get more provision and more dice.
Yeah, because you're going to do that a lot.
Yeah,
so you're
but there
trying
is
to
like...
do it the least amount of times possible.
But then there are bonuses, like you can do another action, then you get a die,
Yes,
and with that you
absolutely.
build this, you get the bonus, you can get it again. And these upgrades make it also very interesting. Like you try to not do the actions that doesn't give you any points the least time possible. I really enjoy this.
Oh yeah.
It's not as, like when I read it, I was thinking, oh, this is going to change the game completely the next time I play it. But I didn't feel like that this way, or it was that way. Because like you get to a point, like every time you move up here, you choose one of them, so you can kind of see the order these are randomly placed. You can play with some variants where you place them the same way or stuff like that. But it's just like you do know from the beginning which abilities you will be able to unlock earlier.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing as well.
Yeah, I liked at the beginning of the game to see what am I going to be able to be better at. So if I, for example, have two abilities here, for example, one is being better at placing these things, and one is being able to brew potions. I'm just taking a random example here.
Yeah.
Then I know I will probably not be able to do both of these. So maybe I should focus in on one of those strategies and build around that. And you can kind of plan towards getting these and trying to use them in the best way possible. But I've also had rounds where I just maybe got one or two abilities maximum, and that was fine as well. So they're not game-changing, but they're absolutely worth trying to strategize around.
A little bit back to what you said about rolling and you know what you get from the beginning. Some of the actions doesn't care about the number of the die, some of the action does. And also when you're playing with multiple players, the higher dice will score you points throughout the game. So when you roll your dice pool, I feel like in a two-player game, which I don't recommend, we're going to talk about it soon, a higher die is going to be less good because there's less opportunities to get points.
Yeah.
Because if I place a 6 somewhere in a 4-player game, the chances someone is going to get there is pretty high and score me some points. And also, like, some of the actions are better with a higher die, so you're probably going to be able to see your dice and maybe go for a bit of that strategy. But then again, with a higher dice, it's more important to get more supplies, so you'll be able to place the die. Let's talk a bit about the player count, because what I feel this game does in an interesting, good way is the interaction, and you lose almost all of that when you play with two.
Yeah, because the puzzle in itself is a cool puzzle. You're trying to find the best route to do. You're thinking, I'm going to do that action there, and then I can go over there, and then I will surround this fire pit, and I will get that bonus. And then if I'm the first, maybe I can connect these two blue and get the points for that. But when you, on top of that, have the layer of the interaction between the players, it elevates it absolutely. So I would say, and I think you absolutely agree, that it shines with 3 or 4 players.
I felt like 2 was meh. Like this, you said, like the puzzle is fine, but without the interaction, you're missing what I feel like is a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Like trying to, I really need to get to that action. Oh, you took it before me. Because when we play 2, of course you can play. I don't know if it's good in this game because you could like run after somebody with your big die and try to do the things. But when you're playing 2, there's only going to be 2 actions on each. So if somebody already chose an action, you also need to be in a position where I need to do the other action.
Yeah.
So with 4, there's a higher chance I want to go somewhere and you need to go somewhere because there's not that many spaces that you can go. I would say that the paths to victory and the variability is quite high, because like of the different actions or different upgrades, I mean, and then their different actions are kind of like different paths to victory. I feel like there is like you are doing the same thing, moving around, but the paths you will take is going to feel quite different. Adding the interaction on top of that, I would say that the variability is above medium. I would say.
And also all like this board is modular, so it has, you can flip it in multiple, it's like a random setup.
Yes.
And also, just to be clear, it's fewer spaces when you play with fewer spaces players. Yes. So will always be one space for each player on each clearing.
You're also correct. There are fewer spaces when you play with fewer spaces.
That's
so that
true.
was actually not a wrong thing. It was just a pretty obvious notion.
Both is right.
So who do you think is going to like this new game from Stefan Feld?
Oh, I think if you are into Stefan Feld's like classic point salads, but this is absolutely like, it's not reminding me of any particular Stefan Feld game.
Nope.
But he uses dice
Which
in a different way here than in his other games, which I think is cool. And also, it's just like I missed a point salad from him.
Yeah.
Even though this is a different game, if you like point salads, this is definitely one to check out.
As we said, I personally don't recommend it with 2 players.
Yes,
I know some
I
people
agree.
have said they enjoyed with 2 players, but I think like if you enjoy doing only your own puzzle and a solo like a multiplayer solitaire, it will be kind of like that in a 2-player game, just so you know that. So, are you ready for some final thoughts?
Yes.
Do you want to begin?
Yeah, I like this game. I think all the aspects we've talked about are fun to do. And I have fun when I play this game because you can do some cool combos. And I love looking for those combos when I play this game. And I also kind of love that I can see like a combo, and when we especially play with 3 and 4 players, I can be like, oh, I hope it doesn't get taken before I go there, because my next plan will be changed if I don't have the ability to do that. So I really like that when you play with a higher player count, you can also not do your perfect combo, and that is kind of a thing that I liked when I play this game. And I kind of don't like the ever like non-stop struggle to get provisions and dice, because sometimes you feel like I'm only getting provisions and dice. That's the only thing I do. But other than that, I've had a lot of fun with this game, and I'm still looking forward to try more combinations with these abilities and play this game more. So I'm going to give this a 7.5. I really enjoyed it.
I think Druids of Edora is a good game. I think that it is nice. It feels like a classic Feld, but with more interaction than in the last few years. Like, Stefan Feld made some very interactive games, especially in The Outer Dragon, but lately he's made a lot of games that doesn't have this kind of interaction. So I really enjoyed it for that. So the 2-player experience, as I already said, did not give me a lot, because the puzzle in itself is just like half of the puzzle, half of the enjoyment of it. So when we added more players, it also added more fun to the game. I am having fun when I play it. Will it reach my top 5 Stefan Feld games? No. Will it reach my top 10? Probably not. I'm more unsure there because I don't remember exactly how many games. But top 5 it will not be. But it's still one I want to keep.
Yes.
And one I would like to play again. I'm going to land on 7.5 as well. And that's going to be the end of the review.
Yes.
Yes, you did it. Also, I have a meeple on my hat. Boom. If you like this video, you can
subscribe.
Yes, we already said it, but we're saying it again because it helps us more than you think.
But if you subscribed when we said you subscribed last, don't click the button again.
That's true. That might be a mistake that you would make. And that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.